Robert said you haven't been practicing, you're dealing with some lower half stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How much of a concern is it? And just,
It's not really a concern, to be honest. I'm just focused on just continuing to get better and just still keep building my body up for the season and everything. I could practice right now. I feel great, but the coaches are real cautious with me, and I appreciate them for that. So it's been a good time just to still be here, be a part of everything. I do the walkthroughs and stuff we've been doing, so it's been cool. It's been fun.
Considering the way the season ended on an upswing for you personally, what kind of expectations do you have for yourself this year?
Yeah, I ended the season on a good note. Just still last season, not still feeling like 100% all the time, but now I had my first off season to not just be trying to get back, but to get better, and I've gotten better this off season. So, I'm a lot leaner. I feel a lot healthier. My knee feels a lot better, and I just feel like I'm back to my old self.
Did you not necessarily feel like that at all?
Huh?
Was there ever a point that you kind of felt like yourself last year?
I had times, but coming off an injury and I was playing a little early, so I was still trying to figure out how to deal with like soreness and stuff, and I never really had injuries before, so I don't think I had like a super high like pain tolerance. So like when you have those traumatic injuries, that kind of messes with you a little bit. But now now that I've gotten a full off season and just keep getting stronger, I feel just fine. So it feels great now.
Last year, you before the season ended, you talked about some lofty goals for yourself about being the best running back in football, All Pro and Pro Bowl. What is it going to take for you to get there?
Really, it's just all on me. We have the team now. We upgraded everybody. We upgraded in every room. So I'm just happy that I'm happy that we have the guys that we have now. I've been happy for everything I've had in the past. So now it's on me. I feel like right now, McCaffrey's the best in the league, and to me, he sets the standard. So now, we're going to see him week 1 and everything, and we're playing against some of the best linebackers. So for me, it's exciting just to see where I stand and, really let everybody see my full talent now that I'm healthy.
So you just got a new contract. So as a fellow running back, just how does that make you feel?
Yeah, it was cool. Like I said, he sets the standard, so it was just cool to see him raise the market and continue to get paid. And, he's still a top 10 player in this league. So, and I feel like with my talent and the team we have, I have potential to trend towards that way. So I'm just excited to, get rolling.
What were the things you focused on this offseason since you had kind of like an uninterrupted one to get?
Probably just getting a little leaner and like just getting my legs strong, my left quad, knee, hammy calf stronger, just so I didn't have any like asymmetry or anything. So that was mostly what I was focused on. But other than that, yeah, I was just making sure I was working out, just doing it smart and not trying to overload myself, and just getting back to feeling good.
You caught a lot of passes. Do you think there's even a bigger role developed in the passing game?
Yeah, because I caught a lot, but I also had some drops too. So, which comes with just like concentration stuff, trying to make a play and everything. So, right now, just and it's our second year in the offense with Hackett and everything. So now I can play with more accelerated vision. I'm a lot more confident with everything. I feel like I can see stuff before it's happening, and even more now. So that'll help me a lot.
What do you mentioned this offense can look like, with Aaron back, the additions, second year, stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm kind of excited. I can't wait for Mike to come back, to be honest, because with him, it's just, he's just like Garrett. He's a huge playmaker. You press him, you play too far up to him, you just throw him a fade. So that's going to help me out a lot, because with him and Garrett, then you got Malachi, Xavier Gibson, Allen, and everybody. Going to take a lot of pressure off me. I won't have to go as many one high boxes. So I'm going to go against a lot of two high boxes, which creates more space for me to work with and everything. And people aren't going to be able to just sit in one high because Aaron's going to dice them up. So I'm excited for sure.
You mentioned the upgrades around the team, but specifically on the offensive line. You add in Tyron Smith, quarterback Morgan Moses. You as a running back.
John Simpson, too. Don't forget.
Absolutely. As a running back, what do those moves do for you? How excited are you to be behind that kind of offensive line?
Yeah, it was good. We just created, and especially coming to this season, just creating a whole new standard. And and just not only for the O-line and running backs, but for the whole offense. We're really trying to just challenge our defense. Our defense is already really good, so every day we're trying to challenge them, and we're trying to become a better offense. And we have been doing that this offseason, and with the vets that we have, and guys like me and Garrett getting older. We're starting to take on that leadership role and really trying to step into being those guys for the offense and everything. So I think we're just trending upwards. So it's been good.
What does a leadership role look like for you?
I'm more of like a laid back jokester guy, so I'm not real like rah dude. So I just go out and ball. That's all I can do. Garrett's the same way, So we lead by example, but then when we do say something, everybody listens because they're not used to us really speaking up like that. So just leading by example and showing up every day, being the same guy doing your 111th.
What's it like being the old guy in the running back room now?
I'm not the old guy. We got Tariq Cohen now, so
Okay,
I was just telling him I used to play with them on Madden and everything. So now I'm not the old guy. Nick Bawden, he's older than me as well. So I'm sitting at third right now, and I think Isaiah Davis is the same age as me as well. So Braylon's the young buck in there now. So I'm good. Yeah.
What was your reaction? Were you surprised not to see Aaron today? And how do you feel about your quarterback skipping a mandatory event?
No, I wasn't. Wasn't going to be surprised not to see him. Wasn't going to be surprised to see him. So, I know he's working his tail off. He's still trying to come back, still get back to feeling right from his injury and everything. I know he's working his tail off. Whether he's here or not, I know he's all in, and it's good for Tyrod and some of the younger quarterbacks to get those reps because this is Tyrod's first year in the offense, and he's still learning everything as well. So, it's cool because he also brings a sense of calm to the offense and. It's just going to be good for him to work through mistakes and for the young guys to work through mistakes and growing pains and everything.
You mentioned the 49ers and McCaffrey. Maybe think about your cousin or your uncle Roger Craig?
Yeah, cousin, yeah.
How cool is that? And what's the history there as far as you and the 49ers? Roger Craig was a legend there. He's your relative, and you're opening up with him.
Yeah, it's very cool. I know he's gonna be talking stuff to me before the game and everything. Even though I know he's gonna be rooting for me and everything. So it's gonna be cool. And playing the 49ers, Brock was my roommate in college and everything. And McCaffrey, I used to watch his highlights all the time. If you go on my YouTube and you look at Christian McCaffrey and like my history and everything, it'll show I watched like the first 10 videos of like his highlights and everything. So it's gonna be cool going against Fred Warner. And then the defense they have over there, it's going to be a great challenge for me just to see where I stand, see where our offense is, and I think it's going to be fun.
Did you talk to Purdy after the schedule came out?
Nah, I haven't yet. Me and him are actually overly competitive with each other. So even in college when we play Madden and stuff, whoever won, we wouldn't talk to each other for the rest of the day. So that's how it's going to be until after the game. So yeah.
How's the adjustment going?
Oh, it's going great. It's a pleasure to be, working with a good group of guys here. Everybody has the same mindset to get better every day, and it's been fun. So.
For you, you've probably been used to the same kind of routine from the off season into mini camp and that kind of thing. How different is it? Because you know how things are structured. Now it's a completely different thing at this point in your career.
Yeah. Every team is different. It's just adjusting to what you get to, and so the adjustment hasn't been hard or anything like that. Just getting to it's more for learning everything how they do things here as far as playbook and the workouts and everything here. But it's an easy transition. They make it easy for you and to learn everything how everything's run here.
So you compare this offense to the one that you played with at Dallas.
Mm-hmm. We established something, great in Dallas, and it's potential to do the same thing here. We got a good group of guys here that's willing to be the best O-line as we can, and so me and a couple older guys, it's the beginning stages right now, but we're building to that chemistry that we need.
What kind of relationship did you have with Larry Allen? I read some clips last week after he passed that said that he was. He had kind of approached you, I guess, when you first got to Dallas. So Larry was a big influence for me from our first couple of years, coming to training camp and, giving me little tips here and there and just being there. He used to send us texts, before every game, a couple guys on the line just saying, give us, a little encouragement before every game. It breaks everybody's heart that he passed away and sudden the way it did, but
we got take for what he taught us, and we got to grow from there.
Do you see yourself in sort of that chain of passing down? I mean, obviously you're still active because you wasn't when you came into the league, but do you take on that responsibility? Do you like that role?
For me, any kind of tips I could give anybody as far as technique, anything like that, I'm willing to give it because we all got to be strong in this.
Along those lines, when they drafted Olu, what's that relationship been like over the last month or so?
It's been great. He's not shy to ask any questions. He's willing to work, and like today, we was working technique after practice, trying to fine tune different things because you never know what could happen. And in this league, it's always the next guy up because everybody has to be ready. So.
Is there a particular trait that stands out to you when you look at Olu's game from college to now?
You could tell that he's growing for what how he used to play in college. He's starting to see how things are done here, and he's adjusting pretty well.
When we spoke to Aaron a few weeks ago, he mentioned your lockers are near each other in the locker room. He was talking about how cool it is to watch you kind of talk to the younger guys. What's it been like being around Aaron?
It's been great. He's one of the greats, and anything he tells you, you listen. Because it's always going to be something you haven't heard before. So you just take it what it is and learn from.
Have you allowed yourself to imagine what this offense could look like when everyone's together and healthy?
I feel like we could be a dominant offense, as long as everybody's on the same page, and I feel like we're getting to that point. And so, it's all as one, and we got to stay together on every step of the way.
You've been in the NFL for a little while. Just describe the type of leader that you are, whether it be by example or verbal.
For me, I've never been like a rah type guy. I try to stay neutral as possible. For me, it's I'm always leading by example because I'm never. It's weird for me being under a press conference right now and talking in front of you guys right now because I'm not a big talking guy. So I'm always leading by example. That's the way I always wrote. So. Did you
learn anything last season in terms of managing yourself through the course of the year that you could apply to this year? You hadn't done in previous years.
Well, the system they had set up for me in Dallas was something they came up with, and it worked. And so, just pretty much it was me listening to whatever they tell me to do, and the same thing here. Whoever plan they have for me to take care of me here, I'm gonna listen and follow.
With Morgan hasn't been practicing and ABT has been practicing. How important is it for you five guys to get on the field together for some time in August?
Yeah.
And get some continuity before the season gets here.
I feel like we're gonna get that no matter what when training camp comes up. Both of them have been working this whole time, and it's not like they've been missing. They've been staying in the playbook, and so they're not missing a beat.
What's it been like for you, and what went into the decision to? You've been here pretty much the whole off season, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you're from California and you played in Texas. This is far away from your stomping grounds. What made you decide I'm going to be here the whole time, and how is that going for you?
For me, that's always pretty much how I did things. Even when I was in Dallas, I was there we used to have something called Captain Workouts that started in March, and we continued on the whole offseason program all the way through minicamp. I'm just used to being around the guys and building that camaraderie with the guys. And so that's always building chemistry during this offseason program. So you get training camp, you're just picking up where you left off after minicamp.
You ever get tired of the drills and stuff? I watched you do O-line drills today. I figured you must have done these things like 1,000 times.
Yeah, but I enjoy it because you can always get better with some kind of technique. So just sit there and learn it. There's always something you can add to the tool belt.
Notice they don't ask you to hold the pads anymore, though.
No, that was a long time ago. Yeah.
How does your body feel after like a decade in the league?
Feels great, honestly. After last year, how they took care of me and then just really focused on taking care of my body coming into this offseason, I feel great. So.
Just your grasp of the offense and how you feel like it's coming along during these last 2 months for you.
It's been good. Obviously, change of scenery altogether, minus the stadium, but learning a new verbiage, fairly new system. But I think that with phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 into minicamp, we've repped enough things enough times to have some comfort level around it. The name of the game is to continue to get better each and every day, and that's the focus for me and as this team, for us to challenge ourselves and get better. And that starts in the classroom and then applying it to the field, and that's what my mindset has been day to day.
You have been with a lot of different teams too. Just the overlap, and how could that possibly help you, especially get the offense down?
100%. Played a lot of football. There's only so many different ways you can conceptually get guys open on the field. At this point, it's really just about relearning or learning new terms and forgetting old terms. It's a lot of carryover in some of the offense that I've been a part of. But yeah, it's really just about putting the time in the classroom and going out there and trusting your instincts.
Your last few years, you've kind of been with younger quarterbacks. In those rooms, are you looking forward to kind of being in a more veteran group where you have a lot of experience? Aaron has a lot of experience.
I enjoy both. I mean, obviously this is different, like you said, from the last few years that I've been a part of. But the main thing each and every day is that to a man that we bring our best game. Obviously we lead in our own way, but the better we play as a group, the energy flows out throughout the team, and it's up to me when I'm in there to have a standard of play, as well as Aaron, as well as Pease and JT when he get right as well.
What was it like out there today, obviously with no Rodgers, taking all the first team reps?
Been in this league long enough to know it's next man up mentality, and I think as you create a culture around that, I don't think from an emotional side that you get caught into who's out there, who's not. It's about going out there and executing, play in and play out, competing at a high level. And I think the guys done a great job of doing that today. We competed our butts off against the defense all spring. And we have another opportunity tomorrow before we go on break and in the training camp. But I think the guys done a great job of competing today as well as all spring, whether it be in the weight room, on the field, all of it.
When did you find out that you were going to be the starter in the minicamp?
This morning.
We talk about culture all the time, right? That's a word that's thrown around. You've been in so many different buildings and rooms. How much of that is reality versus how much is that just talk, and what leads to a good culture?
It is reality. For some it's talk, but the good teams that I've been on, it is a reality. And it's a brotherhood throughout the locker room. I would say some of the best teams that I've been on, or the better teams that I've been on, it starts with the locker room, the energy throughout it, how well we bond as a unit, but then as well as offense, defense, special teams, everyone. Spending time with one another outside of the building, getting to know your teammates. Obviously at this level, there's a lot of different responsibilities outside of this building, but while we're here, coming together, putting our minds together and our efforts to go out there and obviously accomplish a goal that everyone this time of year has, which is a Super Bowl. There's a lot of work to do to get up into that point. But yeah, I would say culture is a real thing. And I've been on teams that have it, some teams that don't. It's not a deal breaker, but I think the better teams have a good sense of what their culture is and what they're trying to do as a team.
Which team that you were on during your career had the closest offense to this one?
In what ways?
No,
From
I mean the system.
bonding to
the
system. Oh, okay. So this we have a West Coast background. My fourth year in Baltimore, Coach Kubiak had his own version of the West Coast system. You see a version of that out in San Fran. Obviously, Coach Shanahan has kind of done his own thing with it. I've also played under Greg Roman, who had a version of the West Coast as well. And we had some West Coast terminology last year. It was kind of a hybrid in some of the concepts. But I would say this is true, just learning the offense from day one, going back to the basics. This is a true West Coast. Obviously, Coach Hackett, stemming from his father who was at practice today. So I've been in versions of it, but I would say this is the truest form of it.
What's it like being in a room where you're not the oldest quarterback? The other guy is
refreshing.
Right.
Oh no, it's good. lot of experience. Me and Aaron joke about it all the time. Between us two, it's 34 years of experience, and you don't see that often at this league. And I've played with some veteran quarterbacks, obviously not at year 14, so that years don't match. I mean, 2019 I was with Phillip. I can't remember what year that was for Phillip, but I wasn't obviously as experienced as I am now. But it's good. I mean, the quarterback room is a fun one. We all keep it entertaining at some point, but at the same time, we all have a standard, and we all push each other, and we're all learning, trying to be better.
Where's Garrett Wilson rank up there with the receivers that you play with?
Very high. I've been very impressed with him. And I told him that the first week that I got here. I was always a fan of him from afar. Got a chance to watch him last year. Just it seemed like the Jets played, obviously, first week we played Sunday night versus Cowboys. They played Monday night versus, or Jets played Monday night versus Buffalo. I feel like I caught a lot of their games last year. So I got a chance to see him, but then actually being around him, seeing the way he works, the way he's intentional about his approach. He has a veteran mindset. And when I say that, just how he works, you don't really see a lot of younger guys that way. Super talented, and he wants to get it right. Obviously a key part of our offense, but I think his attitude and his approach day to day also lifts up that room and brings high expectations across the board.
I know he hasn't been practicing, but what's it like for you being able to be back with Mike Williams? You were there early in his career.
Mike is a great addition for this team. Can't wait to get him healthy. I know what he's capable of, and I know he's eager to show what he could do here, as well as just coming off an injury, ready to prove himself. Like I said, it's a great addition for this team, and looking forward to big things from Mike.